Yo, what's up guys? Today let's check out if it's really worthy to get a GTX GT 710 in 2020. With that being said, if you end up liking this video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and let's begin the show. Okay, before we begin, if this sort of stuff interests you, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out some great stuff coming up ahead on this channel. Now coming up to the GTX GT 710, it has been a budget-friendly CPU card ever since its launch. To start with the build quality is good with no flex in the card. It is in the snug fit with the slot, and being a lightweight card with no additional equipment on top of it, you don't have much weight to hold on by the slot itself. Well, when to be spoken on the technical details, this card has 2 gigs of DDR3 RAM and a clock speed of 1600 MHz, which can be upgraded by the overclocking, which we'll be speaking up in a short time. The card supports multiple displays and can connect up to 3 displays at once. The slots provided on the card are a HDMI, a CRT and a DVI. The card that I have bought up is a PCI Express 2.0 slot. You can also opt for the 1X slot. Keeping up these things to a side, let's quickly pop up this card and check out its performance. Before proceeding with the testing of card, let's check my PC details. I'm running a Core i5 with 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM on the MSI Pro motherboard. I've decided to start the test with benchmarking. I'm using the Heaven Benchmark 4.0 for this test. So let me quickly set the settings and run the software. So here we are with the scores. The average frame rate per second recorded is 10.8 and the maximum and the minimum being 7.6 and 21.9. For an average game to run good enough, you need to have a frame rate of between 10 to 35. Okay, now let's go ahead and check out the real-time performance of this GPU. Here I am in the After Effects. I have loaded up a 4K template, and once I've started up to play the composition, it strucks. What? Okay, as expected. Now let's go ahead and check out the Premiere Pro. So here I am in the Premiere Pro. So this is a full HD footage shot with 60 FPS, and yes, it's doing a decent job. So I'm like just gonna go with the color grading of the footage, and yeah, it's like working pretty good. No frame lags and no nothing. Yes, everything seems to be good in the Premiere Pro. Let's head to the GTA 5. So I've just set the game to the higher settings, and we also have the ultra high settings right in the game. But I've just set up to the higher settings because the game already at like 2000 MB of the card, and we have like left with only a couple of MB. So I've like just set 2000 MB with the higher settings, and yes, the game is playable with frame drops and a bit of lag. Not at all a smooth experience, but yes, it's playable. But you will definitely not enjoy the gameplay to the most. The Zotac software support. The Zotac has its updates being rolled down even to the latest times, no issue with that. We have this software called Freestorm, so it basically lets you offset the GPU clock speed and the memory clock speeds. We have some inbuilt boosters in this software to overclock the GPU to the mildest. Yes, In case you don't know what overclocking is, it's like just putting up some more stress onto your GPU so that you can get more out of it. We also have an option to do the manual adjustments in the clock offsets to get the desirable speeds. Before you proceed with the GPU overclocking, make sure that you have some decent cooling to your GPU. You also have this NVIDIA GeForce support, which also lets you download the latest drivers and the supported games to your GPU. So coming to the question, should you get this one in the 2020? Yes. If you're planning to do some small editings in the Photoshop, Premiere Pro or the Lightroom and want to have some small games like the American Truck Simulator or the 18 Wheels of Steel to the Metal and Pedal, this is a great choice. If you're having bigger budget than this, you can always consider for the GT730, which comes with 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM and which would cost you around 6,890. So it's almost 30% better than this CPU. But yes, if you're having a budget of around 3,000 or 3,500, this would be always a great choice to consider. Well, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. This is Hemant Raj signing out for now, and I'll catch you guys next time. Till then, peace out.